we go again.
Well, apparently Javante must have thought that that was the case because after the debate, we saw him try to do some cleanup. He did some interviews and was basically like, "Look, man, I was tired. I just came back from doing this and doing that." And the Dems was like, "Bro, this ain't it. This ain't it." And
Listen, I don't think that he realized. And listen, I think that when that happened, though, bro, I think the Dems just kind of was just like, bro, you don't understand how crazy you look out there.
right.
You look crazy.
Well,
But
that's not this ain't the first time he's looked crazy. There's several videos of him just like freezing up, bro. He's like somebody hit the pause button. Like he get out and just be like,
and boy had to reboot. He had to reboot, man.
yeah,
He
yeah,
had to control alt delete that thing.
man. Yeah. So anyway, with that being said, we other national news obviously is he has stepped down from running in the 2024 presidential race, and it's looking like Kamala Harris is going to pick up the mantle and push forward. Now, I have my own thoughts about this, but I'm gonna let you start it off. But I have my own thoughts about all of this because it's mixed emotions.
So I think that from my perspective, bro, listen, I just think that the assassination attempt was so much of listen, this is what I think. You know how like okay, so you know how like when we watch wrestling and we say, oh, somebody is getting put over.
Yeah.
I thought that the assassination attempt was him getting put over, bro. And I just don't think. Listen, I think that Kamala Harris, from standing in front of him, right, and a debate, I think that she presents a different dynamic, positive. And to me, I think that to me, I look at that and say she'll be able to debate him more. Now he's the old man, right? So I think that you get that dynamic. And I think that there's a certain level of nasty that he can't be talking to a woman that he could have been talking to that boy Jovante. But I think that at the same time though, bro, I just thought that the assassination stunt was so over that I think that even now, I thought this is the way I try to tell people, right? Joe Biden, as unpopular as he has been, and I say that across universally, right? Um, I think he's been unpopular because I think that after the election, I don't think that people saw can tangibly put their hands on the thing, even though he can run off of a list of a zillion things, and everybody be kind of like, man, that's cool, right? But with that being said, I think that most people feel like the best thing that he did was keep Trump out, right? So he got the most votes of all time. Okay. With that being said, the second most all time was Trump in that same election. And I just wonder that if Biden, if he didn't do enough to have the same turnout, like I think that the same people that came out for Trump will say, no, I'm getting my guy in. And for some of the guys who may have been on the fence, I think that they basically are saying, well, I'm gonna go ahead and turn out. With that being said, I don't know that Biden would have, and I don't know that Kamala Harris has been visible enough throughout Biden's presidency to make people feel like they're, because you think about that. That means that she would have to have the most votes ever in American history to win. And I just don't think that she can, bro. It's too late. I think it's too late in the game for her though.
It is too
What
late in
you
the
think?
game, and that is the problem. It's too late in the game. Like she didn't have a full opportunity to run a campaign. We don't know what she's standing on. We don't know who her running mate is. And yes, we can get those answers in a couple of weeks, but the Dems aren't even doing their the DNC until October, until August. So they still haven't named her the representative yet. You know what I'm saying? They ain't naming somebody until August. So she still has to earn that. And then she doesn't have enough time to convince anybody if they were on the fence. Like if it was just brought up in the beginning that no, she's gonna be the one going up against Trump, and had a full campaign to where we knew where she stood and what was gonna be different. Because like you said, she wasn't visible enough, and she was a part of the Biden campaign in back in 2020. So the thing is that she's got a lot going against her. She's black, she's a black woman, she was a part of Biden's campaign, and uh, there are some black people that just don't like her anyway. So you got all of that stuff against you. Plus, you don't even have the time to do it. So to me, it's like the way I'm looking at it is like if she fails, then in the future, the Dem like in 4 years, the Dems gonna be like, bruh, now the people didn't rock with you, so we ain't even giving you the nomination for the next time. Like it's such a setup for failure. And the thing is it could be so much positive energy, but I also blame the Democrats because the thing is y'all have been with Joe this whole time, and y'all just now saying stuff like you needed to see the debate, or like,
I
come on,
think
bro.
that's exactly what it is. I think that they needed to see the debate to see how he would look up there. And once they saw how bad he looked, they was like, that ain't it. But here's the thing about it. This is what I think that's crazy. Okay, let's just say set aside political party,
Hmm.
right? There's no way as an American that I would ever see myself voting for Donald Trump, right?
Right.
Doesn't matter. As an American, he seems to be as un-American politically for what my political views would be, and they're not very expensive, by the way. With that being said, I was never thrilled about the possibility of voting for Biden a second time. I was never thrilled about it. I was going to do it, but begrudgingly, I was going to vote for it. I at least feel like I would be more confident in voting for Kamala Harris. Even though I don't think that she's going to win, I feel like my vote, I'm more comfortable with my vote for her than I was with Biden.
No, I totally get that, and I'm right there with you. But it is a very, very uphill battle, and I just hope, because see, you and I said we are going to vote. I'm hoping that the people that, because you had people that just didn't like Biden, right? So they were going to vote for Trump. Then you got people that look at the economy and was like, nah, the economy was better when it was under Trump, so I'm still voting for Trump. Then you got people that just like Trump just because they like Trump, they voting for Trump, right? And
Yeah.
then so it's just like you got all of this stacked against you. So the people who were probably traditionally voting for uh a Democratic representative, that's like, I'm not even gonna waste my time because it's a foregone conclusion that he gonna walk away with it. So that's the problem that I have. It was like, you know, outside of us talking about it on this platform, I really haven't made any political comments on Facebook because I was kind of like, I was taking a
Same.
break. I was taking a break, bro. I'm like, listen, the thing is that for one, right, posting on Facebook or wherever your choice of social media is, that ain't changing nobody's opinion about what they
Right.
already believe. Like, because whatever you believe, that's what you believe. I got people
Right.
all
Right.
down my timeline that are either that are very vocal about who they are voting for. And that's fine. I just don't tolerate the disrespect behind any of it, right? Like, have your fun, do your thing, post who you want to post about, whatever. But as far as me, like, I hadn't made any comments outside of us talking here about any of the events that have taken place. And I'm like in a peace about it by doing it that way. Now, if somebody come and ask me a question and want to have a conversation about where I stand or whatever, ain't got no issue with, saying what I feel. But at the same time, nah, I'm cool right now.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't. So this is my thing. I think that politically, right? I just think that I would respect somebody who says, listen, man, I'm just a Republican, so I'm going to support my party. And whoever we pick as a leader, that's who I'm going to go ahead and look at. I respect that. But what I look at politically differently is someone who's a Trump supporter, because then to me, that's you saying This is our guy. Like, to me, that's like, for me, that's like me saying the only president that I've ever been, this is my guy, was Barack Obama, right? He was the only guy, the only president that I can say, and not just the president. He's probably been one of the few political candidates, and I would say maybe Raphael Warnock seems like that kind of guy too. Everyday guy. But Barack Obama, I was that kind of guy, right? I was a Barack supporter. But if you were somebody who looked at him like he was the Antichrist, and to you hated Barack Obama supporters, then fundamentally we just look at the person differently, right? And I think that that's why, for me, you would never see. I would always kind of like feel some kind of way about the Democrat that crossed the fence to go and vote for him, right? Because it's like, well, the person, never mind the person. But even with that said, I never considered myself to be a Biden supporter. It was like he was Barack's homeboy. So by proxy, you kind of got my support because of the affiliation, right? But now it's just like, all right, bro. Like I now that I've separated your relationship with him, it's just like the second go around, I wasn't thrilled about it. Wasn't just I haven't been that thrilled about the results. And while I would vote for him again, I wasn't going to be happy about it. Right? It was almost like the voting for the second time around, voting for the lesser of two evils. Right? But I feel more comfortable with Kamala Harris, despite the the perceived like inexperience, despite the things that the uphill battle. I just feel like she seems to me as a representative of these candidates. Now, maybe if there's another person, and I would feel differently if there was another set of candidates. But I feel like she's the more confident one there, and I feel like I still do. To me, it holds a lot of stock to me of someone who is a career politician, for someone who's devoted their life to public service. Like, that means to me that you're a true patriot, and I think that our representation should be patriots. And I think that's where I look at someone who's not a politician, who's just a businessman, right? And you run, and that's it. And so from that perspective, for me, that's, let alone all the other stuff
Mm-hmm.
that comes along with them. It's just the fact that you're not a politician, you're not a public servant, you're a businessman. And I respect that you're a businessman, but I also anticipate that you're going to do the best thing for business, your business, not the business of the United States. And that's my fundamental problem.
Yeah. Yeah.